afternoon, everybody. How are we? Wonderful. Good. I love that enthusiasm all the way in the back. Keep that up. I'm very excited to share with you all today and introduce somebody who should be very familiar around here. Miss Jasmin Hernandez is our Director of Wellness, and she is going to share about her trip to Japan and South Korea. So please help me in welcoming Jasmin. That was so sweet. Oh my goodness. I love that. Okay. I'm gonna stand right here and I'm gonna leave my background music because it's K-pop and you'll see in the future slide. I can do that, Brenda. So I went to Japan and South Korea. It was a 14-day trip and it was an all-girls trip. So no husband, okay? He was home taking care of my fur baby. Okay, so first stop, we did a quick trip to Japan. So we did, I'm gonna try to say this, I'm not really good. Shinjuku, Shibuya, and Asakusa. I tried. Okay, so I will start off with day one. We were very, very lost. Very, very, very lost. We got off the airport and they told us to go to a Narita train station. And so we went down and then they told us, well, actually, you have to get a certain card and download and you gotta get a separate ticket. Yes. That was day one. And Jasmin thought it was great. She didn't think it was great. She was very much wrong. But she got off the first train and missed the second train. Oh my goodness, yes. So this is us all happy on the first train. I don't know how to point the pointer.
I think it's the middle button.
Middle button. Yay! We were happy and then we were not so happy. We got off, and when we got off, it was 7 p.m. their time, women and men in full-on suits, business suits, on a weekday. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? And so we're shuffling around, we have 50-pound luggage, trying to move around, we have nowhere where to go. We go to the information desk, he tells us shoo shoo. I'm like, I know what that means. So we finally realized that if we follow a green man that does this, that means exit. So we find our way up to the top and we make it to the hotel. Yay! And near our hotel is the 7-Eleven, and we were very, very, very excited to go to the 7-Eleven. And it is not the 7-Eleven that you're used to here. This 7-Eleven has a smoothie machine, it has an iced coffee machine, it has all these ice cream bars and flavors, this whole matcha section that we were very excited about. And so it was just a completely different world in the 7-Eleven universe. So day two, after we rested, we said, you know what? We're gonna try to hit as much as we can. And Jasmin needed to go get new shoes. And these are the shoes. We only made it to one stop and we had to go to the New Balance stores because we were averaging around 25,000 steps. Yes, it was a lot and my feet were talking. So really, I learned my lesson. So for the very first stop, we wanted to ease in the day, and so we actually went into a shrine, and it was such a peaceful walk. And so when you enter the shrine, you're supposed to bow when you come in, and then when you leave the shrine, you're supposed to bow when you come out. Supposed to, I'm not sure, but I did it to be respectful. This was our very first treat besides yesterday, or the day before. It was delicious. It was fresh fruit inside. We each split, it was figs, strawberries, and I think we got mango. and it was so yummy and good. And then I tried my very first authentic ramen. It was so good. So good. And I will be honest, when I first started my trip, can you guess if I knew how to use chopsticks? But I learned real quick. So it was an experience. This was a waffle with peach ice cream inside. And then my friend here, she got a matcha ice cream. And then my sister had a black paste ice cream. Yes.
What is black paste?
Okay. Bean paste.
Bean paste.
Black bean paste. That was an experience I skipped. I got peach. But to each their own. Okay, and then we head to the night. We go into the main area, which was Shibuya, and we did the famous crossing where it was a bunch of people coming at the same time, and yes, we did it 3 times because one time wasn't enough, and it was just packed. It was just packed, full of people. And then we went up a tower to see on the up view to see how it looked. So it was really cool, really neat. And in that area, we stopped by the Nintendo store. I got some purchases there, which was really cool. And then we went to the Pokemon store, which is this creature that I have no idea.
Mew.
Mew. But we went. That is money. Jasmine had money, and she spent it all. So that is, I don't know. Not much. So my friend over here went 3 weeks in Tokyo or Japan. I only went 2 days. And so cash money was not real money to me. I just spent. So there's that. And then this store here, Tokyo, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Tokyote is a 7-story tall store where each level had different products. So one level was electronics, one level was facials and beauty, another level was travel, another level was souvenirs, and it was tall and it was full of items. So this is where I got most of my souvenirs and travels because it was tax-free, which is very nice. And then I don't know if this video will show. Oh, it didn't. There it is. Right here. When we were walking, we saw a arcade, and we won a fox. So from this point forward, the fox was in our trip everywhere. I stuffed him in my little book bag, and he was everywhere with me. Tokyo and Korea, she saw it all. So, yes. It was a lot of fun. Okay. This was our last day in Tokyo, and we really wanted to eat some sushi, so we went to a place that I have no idea, but we saw on Google Maps that they sold sushi, so we stopped by, and it was delicious. And then here was a matcha ice cream cake cone. It was a lot. I will tell you this, I was matcha'd out. It was good. It was a lot. And this store sold the strongest matcha ever. I skipped. My friend, she picked the strongest matcha. Let me tell you, it was so green. It was so green. Yeah, no, not for me. But I'm glad she liked it. We were walking back. We were about to head to the hotel, and we saw this temple. And so we thought we could just stop by and check it out. And it was beautiful. I wish I knew the name, but I don't. I'm sorry. Okay, in this picture here, I enjoy watching anime, and so this anime here actually we found the real steps from this movie. And so I fangirled a little bit and took a picture of it, so that was really nice. Okay, and so our big trip was in South Korea, so we started with day 1 in Seoul. Okay, so in Seoul, we went to Olive Young, which is a K or Korean beauty store where you can find all products that have with beauty, facials, creams, hair, everything. And we shopped. Oh, we shopped. And this one here, I believe it had like 3 stories of just beauty products. Scary, oh my goodness. But it was great. It was great. This picture here is just an example of one of the many steps that we had to carry our luggage around. When I tell you that there are steps, there are so many steps. And if I was to redo this again, I would, on my GPS, say wheelchair accessible, because by the time that we got all the way to the top, we saw an escalator. Yes, so there you go. And then I wanted to try Subway, because when you watch K-dramas and they do little commercials, they always have the Subway ad. And so I wanted to try Subway in South Korea. It was good. Okay, so we went to Busan, and fun fact for me is my uncle is from South Korea, and I had no idea what region he was from, but when I went to Busan, I was talking to my sister and I said, you know what, I really feel like this is where he's from. The people are so nice and so kind. And so when I went to go talk to my aunt, she told me, that's where he's from, that's where he's from. And so that to me was just so wholesome. It was beautiful to get to experience the place where he came from. So our hotel had this wonderful view, and we saw sand castles, and we were like, what's going on here? Let's go check it out. And they were having a sand castle festival. So they were building sand castle architecture, and there was music and a ton of people and games, and it was just a really, really cool day to just kind of spontaneously arrive, and it was a sandcastle festival. I was like, oh, okay. So that was a lot of fun. And then here you can see the buildings, how beautiful it is. And then the night, that was our view at the hotel. Oh yeah. And then we went through a little alleyway where they sold, everything you can think of, like seafood, which I walked really fast through, ice cream, jewelry, souvenirs. It was really, really cute. And then this right here was ice cream with honey, with real honeycomb. So good, so good. Oh my goodness, I'm getting hungry. This was a little souvenir shop where my friend made her own little tote bag, and she got to pick the little pieces to make, to remember Busan. So it was really, really cute. So we did a 3-day trip in Busan, and so our 3rd day, we went to the skywalk, which we could see this view in the background if you just ignore me. It was stunning. It was so windy, but when we came down, the wind was completely gone. So it was just that point. It was just extremely windy. This seagull is actually the mascot for Busan, and so he's everywhere. Cups, souvenirs, bags, stamps. And then we actually took this little trolley, or I don't know what you call it, sky capsule. We went over the ocean to the city, and we rode through, and that was beautiful. And we went towards sunset time, so that was magical. I would do that again. This here is just me fangirling, because one of my favorite K-pop members, his dad has a shop in Busan. So yes, I did stop at his dad's shop and got some coffee. BTS Travel Day. So if you don't know, I'm a K-pop fan, and my favorite K-pop group is BTS. So we dedicated a full day for BTS. Now that I say that, it's a little crazy, but it was a lot of fun, I promise. So, we had a full day. We went to their old rehearsal studio, and we signed our names. We drew. I said, please come to North Carolina. This is Jasmin. We went to right near their rehearsal studio. They had a restaurant that they always go to, so we went to that restaurant, and they had pictures of the group everywhere, and this is the food they served, which was so good. And this right here was their apartment, and so they changed that into a cafe, and of course, more coffee and more dessert. And this is the props that they had out, and more props. And then there was a K-pop store where the BTS members placed their hands. So Jasmin went to every hand, and I placed my hands on there. Don't worry, I have hand sanitized, it's all good. And then we went to their actual new building in the main part of Seoul, and we stopped by and got more dessert. So my whole trip was eat, drink, eat, drink. Han River, we did that later that night, so we were like, you know what? We're not tired. Let's go to the Han River at 10 p.m. And so we did. So that is me and my friend eating fried chicken, and that was my first time actually eating sold fried chicken, and it was delicious. And then this was the view. That was stunning, stunning. And for me, it was a culture shock because in Seoul, they're very much heavy in nightlife. So their cafe shops do not open till 11 a.m. And then, I saw running clubs, people starting to warm up and stretch, and I'm like, oh my, he should be asleep. Like, what is going on here? And just couples and friends just out for a stroll on a Wednesday. I was like, wow, these people never sleep. We went to Starfield Library, which is a famous spot that a lot of people or a lot of tourists like to go to, and so we wanted to check that off our list. And it was huge. So it's located in Coex Mall. It was 13 meters high with 70,000 books across 2 floors, and that's all inside a mall. So there's their own separate shops. There was a conference going on at the same time. And then here is a book that I randomly grabbed, and I translated because it was all in Korean, so I had no idea what I grabbed, but I wanted to know what it said. In Korea, it is huge to do karaoke, so we wanted to karaoke, and we did. And we did not leave till 2 a.m. Wow, we were fully embraced in the culture. This is Gordon Ramsay in the mall.
Wow.
So I wanted to taste what Gordon Ramsay's fast food chain, and this was the burger. It was really good. And then this picture here, it was just a day where we wanted to do a random stroll, and we found this place. And then right here, I don't know if you can see, but it was like a stairs. There was a live performance going on, and it sounded magical. They were so good. Seoul Tower. So it's an observation tower, and it's located on Namsan Mountain. So for us, where we were located on our hotel, we could see the tower. It was huge, so you can't miss it. So on this particular day, we decided to go to Seoul Tower, and oh man, the view. It was beautiful. We did take a tram that took us up to the top of the mountain, so we didn't have to walk the steps, which there is a story to that. And up here on the very, very top is a 360 view, so you can go all the way around and you can see all of Seoul. And then this is the view. I think that was my favorite part. The view is just beautiful. And here is the lockets. So a lot of people, when they come to Seoul Tower, they bring a locket and they put the date. And so you just put your locket. And so this was ours, and we signed it off. And so whenever we visit again, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can find our locket. And then this picture here was because I lost my ticket to go back down with the girls. And I said, don't worry about it, it's fine, I can walk these steps. I do this every day, don't worry about it. Oh my calves were shaking and I was very, very much lost. By the time I got to the bottom of the stairs, I realized I'm not where the start was at. And so I text my sister and I said, I am very, very lost. Did I stay put? No, I didn't. I went to the top of the stairs, again, not these stairs, it was another set of stairs. And I was like, well, maybe if I follow this trail, I will find them. No, I did not. I turned around and it finally clicked to me to open Google Maps to see where I'm at. And I was on the opposite side of the mountain. Yeah. So I waited and they finally found me and all was well. And my sister said, well, you know what? Let's just go karaoke. And so we went to go karaoke. So I'm gonna try to say this because I'm Gyeongbokgung Palace. So this was the royal palace where the emperor was at. Established in 1395, it's really popular for visitors. And if you wear a hanbok, you enter free.
What's a hanbok?
This is a hanbok. This is traditional Korean clothing. And so all of us got to dress up, and so we went to a rental shop and they did our hair, we got to choose our outfits. And so we just walked around the palace, pretending to be princesses for that day. Beautiful. And then they even have a museum that you can go to learn more about the palace and the emperor and the dynasty in your hanbok. And then here is the emperor's throne, but it looks like a couch where he relaxes. So it was a lot. It was a really fun day. Okay, our very last day in Seoul. So we decided for our very last day, we would just pack, keep it minimal, no stress, no 20,000 steps. And my friend, she went in the morning and she said, I found this really cute cafe where it's a tiny, tiny alleyway. Like it was about this wide, I'm not exaggerating. And once you enter inside, it opens up. One side was their coffee shop and the other side was their bakery. And when you go to their cafe, they had what was called a cinnamon Korean traditional special. So I obviously got that drink and it was so good. And you can go up the stairs and it almost feels like you got lost in time. You don't see the buildings, you just hear the music, you hear the people. And for me, that was one of the best experiences, was just sightseeing and getting lost in the culture. Now I did visit the bakery and I got their fig bread, and then I don't know what this is, but it was a caramel chocolate. It was, I don't know, but if I was to go again, it's because this combo is calling my name. It was so good. And I even bought some of their coffee packets that they sold, and I brought it back for my husband because he loves coffee. So that was really nice, really, really special. think that is the last slide. Thank you. I will do it again. The travel part of it, whew, it was really, really long. 5-hour layover to get to Tokyo, and then it was another 5 hours, 14 hours to get to Canada, another 2-hour layover, and then another 2-hour flight to get to Raleigh, and then an hour and a half drive to get back home. So 24, 25-hour trip, but I would do it again. So does anyone have any questions? No? Well, yes.
What was your favorite meal?
My favorite meal, the fried chicken. I didn't have a picture of it because near the end of the trip, we were starting to get really tired. So we were taking less and less pictures. But we did stop at a place where they sold Korean fried chicken, and it was so crispy, so good. So that was my favorite. And their bulgogi. Bulgogi is like a marinated BBQ steak. Very delicious. Any other questions?
Why did you happen to go there?
Why did I go there? This was a dream trip for my sister and myself. We've been talking about it since 2020, since my uncle, I was talking to my uncle when he was still living, and I would talk to him like, where could we go? And unfortunately he passed away, but I love K-pop and I love K-drama, and so just the whole culture, and then my uncle was a reason why I really wanted to go to South Korea. Anything else? Yeah? Well, thank you all for coming, and I got to relive this trip again and just sharing some really meaningful moments, so thank you so much.